Hi, welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Soul, Mind, and Business podcast weekly reading. I'm Charlie. We're currently reading The Path of the Yoga Sutras by Nikolai Bachman, and this is our very last chapter this week, chapter 51. If you would like to get your own copy of The Path of the Yoga Sutras, head over to our website at www.womeninleadershipbsmb.com. And if you'd like to listen in on the other chapters, they are also available in previous recordings. So head over to our YouTube channel and check those out too. So let's go ahead and get started. Chapter 51, Kiavalya, permanent oneness. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Harry Dixon Lowe's from This Little Light of Mine. The culmination of yoga practice occurs when our heart-mind is completely pure and our buttons are gone. This state of equanimity is a lofty goal that few attain, yet even in the very likely event that this goal is never reached, engaging in the practices of yoga will improve life immensely. It's more about the means than the end, the journey rather than the goal. Why not aim high and enjoy the benefits of moving toward the goal? Kiavalya literally means aloneness and is the final state of emancipation, where we are not affected by any conditioning in our heart mind whatsoever. The inner light of awareness shines through our consciousness to illuminate the world around us, turning any attention into a selfless, compassionate offering to that awareness. Kiavalya cannot be understood with words. It requires direct experience. During the process of self-refinement, the effect of yoga practice, glimpses of our inner light of awareness occur more and more often as our heart mind becomes clarified. Kaivalya can be interpreted in many different ways, using many different words, none of which can do justice to the actual experience. Some English words and phrases that may reflect some characteristics of Kaivalya are permanent oneness, quiet simplicity, conscious isolation, emancipation, freedom, liberation, and enlightenment. As our heart mind clears, it returns back to its true nature of sattva, exhibiting all positive qualities such as virtue, nonviolence, kindness, and compassion. As wonderful as this sounds, it's not quite the end. Even though the aforementioned qualities can bind us to the outer world, if our ego thinks, I am now filled with sattva, then we might regard ourselves as better than those whose heart minds are not there yet. It is crucial to distinguish between a sattvic heart mind and the inner light of awareness that is devoid of any qualities at all. Once the distinction is made between a sattvic chitta and the paruja, a sequence of steps occurs, leading us to Kaivalya. Our sense of self ceases. All karma and kleshas end. Clear, unattained access to all knowledge occurs. Perception of time stops. Since time exists only in the manifest world, a continuous, unbroken viveka is present, and we are fully content and not interested in moving forward anymore. Trying and seeking come to an end, and full relaxation of the heart mind ensues. The power of pure awareness rests in its own nature. There have been accounts of people considered to be enlightened. It is important to distinguish between a person who teaches about spirituality and one who has attained Kaivalya. Many teachers, well versed in the ancient scriptures, can transfix an audience with their knowledge and charisma, yet behind the scenes, they act unethically. A truly enlightened being will have no interest in power, money, or fame. With a healthy ego, he or she will treat all others equally and will never abuse the sacred relationship with his or her followers. Sitting in the presence of this person calms and quiets us, and asking questions seems pointless. She or he is like a clear mirror that shows us exactly who we are. There are many paths to the same goal. The path of the Yoga Sutras, which can be considered scientific and or religious, is only one. Every religion has its own ways of connecting with the divine and its own names for it, just as each culture has its own customs, rituals, and views of the world. Accepting other ways of living and allowing other people to pursue their own paths enables freedom of expression and promotes tolerance and peace. No religion or philosophy has exclusive access to that which is independent of all of them. Such thinking has caused significant conflict and violence throughout the course of history. Our society has become quite complex. The path of yoga moves us towards simplicity and the ordinary. As our heart mind quiets down and focuses on one thing, we cultivate an inner orientation that develops contentment and spiritual maturity. Our interactions with others improve as friendliness and compassion grow. Life becomes easier and simpler as our attention is disentangled from the outer world. As we unravel the layers of our conditioning, we experience more and more of the soft, warm, unassuming glow that is our true essence. Kiavalya is the freedom to simply be. Thoughts. I look forward to spending time alone with myself. I strive for quiet, content heart mind that enjoys moments of solitude. Realizing that everything changes over time gives me a sense of non-attachment and freedom from the external world. Exercises. Sit quietly and contemplate the purpose of seeking the extraordinary. It is your ego that seeks this. How will seeking the extraordinary help you be content? See if you can be happy with only yourself and nothing else. Think about what you are seeking. If it is on the inside, are you attached to it? Maybe it is a spiritual teacher who directs you inward. If so, when this teacher dies, will you mourn his outer form or continue your journey inward, meeting the teacher's essence anytime you wish? Are you comfortable being alone? And if not, why? Thank you for joining us for our last week with reading The Path of the Yoga Sutras by Nikolai Bachman. It's been an amazing journey over this last year reading this with you. And our next book is going to be The Four Agreements. I am going to read each chapter over the next several weeks, and then we should close that up about the end of the year. So that'll be a great time to wrap that up, and then we're going to get back into maybe another book. Maybe we're going to reread The Path of the Yoga Sutras and keep bringing these tools back to our lives. We're not quite sure yet. Let us know what you think, and we will continue this journey together. Thank you for joining us again on this episode of the Women in Leadership Body, Soul, Mind, and Business podcast weekly reading. I'm Charlie. Namaste. Oh, and don't forget to head over to the website for all the things and information. See you next time.